Hey, welcome back to the live room. You're here with me, Franz the Planet, and Evert Snyman to my left. After a fantastic performance last week, Evert and myself are going to hang out for a little while. So sit back, relax, and welcome, Evert. How are you doing, pal?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me.
Fantastic. Thanks for your wonderful performance. Last week's video was fantastic. It's always such a pleasure having musicians of this caliber in the studio with us here at Studio 31. Evert, catch us up a little bit. What's been happening over the last couple of years? We've gone well past COVID. You've recovered from your illnesses. What's been happening with the Evert Snyman and the Aviary?
Well, at the moment we're working on it's technically the fourth album because the last one I did was a cover album. So it's going to be the fourth album that I've released since 2019. This one's also like pruning the third album we did, where there's a lot of different people on it. Obviously, I went through a lot of lineup changes, a lot of drummers, except for Andi. Andi's the OG. He's been there from the beginning. If you guys don't know who Andi is, he's the lead singer and guitarist of Caution Boy. I'm also playing drums for his band because we're an incestuous bunch, you know. But we've been working on that, trying to get as many shows as we can, and just generally loving making music, man. Got to make as much music before we die, I guess.
Absolutely, man. Tell us a little bit more about the tracks that you played last week. Those are all primarily new tracks?
Oh, yes, they are new ones. We played one called Even If I'm Dead. That's actually recorded that song about 4 years ago. Okay. Let me just...
Let's take it back.
Let's take it back a bit. So the thing with me is I tend to write a lot of music when I get like a burst of inspiration. But a lot of times, a lot of them won't really fit in the same cluster. So with this new album that we're bringing out, it's called Alien Heart. I recorded most of those tracks, maybe like half or maybe 3/3 of it, in the same process as recording all two of the other albums. So there's a lot of stuff happening at the same time. But I knew that with this album specifically, I've been trying to make this album since I was 16.
That's the other day.
That's the other day. Yeah, no, just about 24 years, you know. But when I was about 14, 15, there's an album that came out from Beck called Mutations.
Right.
And it was like the coolest album that I'd heard up to that point. And I was always much more into electric guitars and like heavy stuff and screaming my balls off and all that stuff. And when I listened to this, it was like, God damn, this is beautiful, you know? I mean, I always loved the Beatles and stuff, grew up with the Beatles, but I was like, I want to make an album like this. And that album style, they dubbed it, I mean, genre is pointless to me, but they called it like space folk. So it's like folky kind of music, but it's like got like really weird, spacey kind of vibe to it. So I've always wanted to make that kind of album, but I was just never ready for it. And now that I'm a little bit older, and I mean, I think we've got enough heavy tracks. It's not like we're not going to play heavy tracks.
Right.
But it's just nice to have like a different palette to work with. And I think after this one, I'll probably make a techno album. And I'm not joking.
A techno album by Evert Snyman.
Techno or an R&B album. Oh, yes, an R&B album would be the best, man.
Ooh. I see our engineer over there is agreeing wholeheartedly. Now, with Evert and his music, he says he wrote that song when he was 16.
No, I had the idea for the album. I wrote that song 4 years ago with my friend called Tristan DeSantos. He was the lead singer of Scarlet Will.
Okay.
So he's actually playing piano on the recording. Wrote that then. Other song we played, I think, is Given In. A lot of these songs, this new album as well, it's like a lot of the songs about my wife as well. Because I met her obviously like 4 years ago.
Right.
And you can hear in the progression of the album that the beginning one's like, I'm still trying to hide that, ooh, I like you. And then it gets progressively, like, obviously more open and stuff. And then obviously a lot of crazy shit that I've gone through in the past couple of years. I mean, we got arrested after Mexfest by a corrupt policeman.
Good fun.
Was not
Welcome
fun.
to South Africa.
Not going to go past that thing, but yeah, that happened. Just a lot of family stuff, just a lot of personal things I had to deal with. And then you can obviously see how the progression of everything goes. It goes a little bit darker, and then it gets prettier by the end and whatnot. But I record the whole album in sequence. So the way that it's going from top to end, it's not like, oh, I have to, oh, this one will follow better on that one. I already have the order in my head, and I've never done that, which is weird because I'm always recording multiple things. I'm like, okay, this will follow better on that. I feel like there's a lot more of a centralized kind of theme in it. I mean, I always say, if you want to know me, listen to my music, and then you'll know exactly who I am, because I really do not, I don't pull out any, I pull out all the stops.
Yeah. And you hear it in your music. Links in the chat, this description below, rather, not the channel below. But while you're talking, or we're talking about channels, remember to subscribe and do the like things, share, and all those fantastic things to get more eyes on Evert, his band, and this channel here at Studio 31. So what I wanted to say about going way back, Out of My Reach, right? That is something that we recorded at my house 3 years back, 2 years back. And now it's actually coming out when you've released one other album, and something that was already there so long ago is finally getting to
That's the first
production.
song I wrote for my wife.
That's
Before
beautiful.
we started
Beautiful.
dating, what was it? I remember when I sent it to her, and we were just chatting at that moment. Because I mean, a lot of people do Tinder. Like I've never done that. It would just freak me out too much. So we did like the old school way. Like actually had like a heavy operation and whatnot. And that same day we had to play Loftus with Rough Magic.
Okay.
And I'd seen her around, and then I saw her from the stage, and then I waved at her, and she waved back. And I'm like, oh, that's a pretty chick. And I was thinking like, well, she's probably way too young for me. And then when I found out that she wasn't way too young for me, I was like, okay, this is cool. Then we chatted for like a really long time. Mm-hmm. And we built like a good basis and all that stuff. And I don't know, we just did it like old school style. So you can hear progress. There's a lot of, I don't know. It's when you're a songwriter and you're trying to write a song, a love song to someone. Like I always feel like in the past when I did it, it always felt very forced. And with this, it just came out naturally.
Natural. Beautiful. It's true love, man.
True love. True love.
Yeah, but you spoke about Andi that was over there, being your bassist, you being the drummer for his band. Tell us about the rest of your band also, who's on your drums. Run us through your band, the Aviary.
Let's run it through all of my minions.
Yes.
Okay, so Andy's been around for a long time. I've known Andi for probably about better half of 15 years. He used to be in a band called Giant Pain. He was in another band called Angry Violent Vultures. It's been a lot of bands. He was also in Brown Spiders, okay, with the guys from Makeovers as well. He was bassist in that band. And I mean, we just always really got along. We grew up with a lot of the same music, all that kind of stuff. He's an amazing, amazing songwriter. He's an amazing musician. Like he can pretty much play anything. He writes like really crazy riffs, and he's like lightning speed. Like I was talking to Finn, the previous drummer. I was like, yeah, we had a jam. It's like I can't keep up. He's just like this riff. He's like a riff machine.
Riff machine.
But yeah, then I'm actually playing drums for him now, which I mentioned before, which is awesome. Like it just fits. I mean, we've been playing together now for about 5 years, so we know each other's style. It doesn't really matter what we're playing. Because I mean, in his band, he's obviously playing guitar. He's not playing bass.
Yeah.
So we know how to finish each other's sentences musically. So we got him on bass, and then I've got Steven Kosterman. He's in a band called Stones and Gold. He was also in a band with me called Bomb Baby a couple of years ago as well. Phenomenal guitarist, phenomenal songwriter, amazing vocalist. Also plays everything. Plays guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, you name it, he can play it. He is also same thing that he has, that Andi has, and you're going to see there's a theme running through here. It's great chemistry, and he knows how to serve a song. And the thing is, every time I see him play a guitar solo, I'm like, Jesus, why did I ever pick up a guitar? Because he just melts your fucking face.
He's pretty friggin' good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Very good musician. And also just one of the most beautiful human beings I've ever met. He's got the most beautiful heart.
And hair.
And hair, yes. His hair is like out of this world. Also, he plays for, he's also a session guy. So he plays for, I think it's Carleen van, I can never remember the last name.
The Afrikaans lady that sings Afrikaans.
Jaarsveld, I think?
Jaarsveld.
Yeah, he plays guitar for her. He's also done some session work with, he plays like live with Zahn Sonicus. So he's he's a all-rounder.
Yeah, he gets around. Nice.
And he's a drum teacher. Would you believe that? He teaches people drums, but he's
craziest things that happen in the aviary.
Okay, that, and then we've got Jason Hammond. Jason Hammond is actually, I've known Jason because he works at Marshall Music. So I just always saw him, and I just thought, like, hey, he's got a really nice vibe, you know. Like, I just thought that, yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. And then we would always like talk a bit of shit and whatnot, and we saw each other at gigs and stuff. And then we realized we liked the same bands, but the same bands as in like bands that people don't probably want to listen to, like Buttle Surfers and shit like that.
Who doesn't want to listen to Buttle Surfers? Come on.
You know, exactly.
But those people.
But yeah, then we actually did another band I used to play for, Pollinator. We did like a reunion show last year at 70s Fest. And at that time, we had lost Stian, who was playing lead guitar. We didn't lose him, but like he exited the band. Obviously, good terms, all that stuff. I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely, as always on good terms, man. As much as you can.
And the thing is, in my mind, I always want to have like a 5-piece, so 3 guitars or 2 guitars, and the 1 guitarist also plays keyboards. And then when he came for a jam, I was like, cool. I just need a good lead guitar or an extra guitarist, you know, because a lot of the stuff is written for 3 guitars. He's like, oh, I really love piano. He got in there. Started playing lady piano on my piano in my studio. I was like, okay, you got it, man. You're definitely in. And also, same thing with him.
Check that box.
Musically, amazing. He's got such a good ear. We got great chemistry as well. He sings as well, but he hasn't started singing live yet. We're going to sort him out as well.
Soon.
Avid Beatles fan, just like me. He knows all of the useless and stupid facts that no one really gives a shit about, but that's great. That's awesome. Then we've got Brendon. And Brendon he's a drum slut. He plays drums for everyone. And I mean, he hasn't even been playing that long. I think he's been playing for maybe 4 or 5 years. And I remember the first time when I met him, I was like, oh, it's just a sweet, beautiful, good-looking little guy.
Innocent.
You know? Yeah, innocent. Innocent until, you know, we got to. But yeah, I just loved his energy and stuff. And when Ramir, my previous drummer, when he went overseas, he's also Steven's drummer, by the way, for Stones of Gold. There's like a family tree. This is worse than the fucking Marvel universe. Look, everything's got to interconnect, you know. But yeah, I just loved his pure energy, and I just loved the way that he played. And I mean, this is going to sound probably stupid. I see a lot of myself in him when I was that young.
Okay.
And our styles are very much the same. And plus, also the thing is, what I look for in musicians or drummers specifically, is can they do what I can do, and can they do it better? And what can I learn from them? Because that's the main thing. You're always learning, especially if you don't read music. That's the only way you learn is by watching people play and like saying, "Hey, man, how do you do that? Like, how do you do this?"
I was going to ask Evert that. What message does he have for the younger generation musicians? And I think that encapsulated right there. I mean,
enjoy it, man.
Enjoy it, yeah.
Enjoy it while you're young. Make as much music as you can. Do what you want to do. Don't give a shit what everyone else is doing. Do what you want to do. Write what you want to write, and make sure that you're having fun. Because life is short, man. Best thing you can do is enjoy it. And the other thing with music as well, and I think Josh Homme said this, and I've used this quote so many times: if you expect anything from music, you expect too much. If you don't love what you're doing, why the hell are you doing it? Like, I mean, I think I got asked a question one time, I think it was on, I can't remember what interview it was, with an Irish guy, something was organized through Mongrel. We did an interview with this guy in Ireland, or England, I can't even remember. God damn it, there's all the songs in my head.
Rockstar, no memory, too much partying.
Too much partying, man. No, but he asked me, like, what was your favorite show ever? And I was like, probably the shittest show. And he was like really confused, and he's like, why is your shittest show like your favorite show? It's like, because it makes me appreciate the good shows a lot more.
Oh, that's fantastic, man. Wow.
And I mean, like, that's the thing as well. The best advice I can give to young musicians: play live as much as you can. I mean, social media is great and all that stuff is wonderful, and I mean that is a very big tool of it. But the thing is, word of mouth is still very strong, and you know that as well.
I mean, it's easier for me to believe someone saying that particular band was really good on stage, rather than come watch us at.
The recordings are great.
Tells me they're good.
Everything can be fixed in recording.
Yeah.
When you put that, I mean, that's the same kind of approach I do when I'm It's a new thing I'm doing because I've always hated saying I'm a producer. I'm trying to elevate myself here. But when I'm producing a band, I really try to make them sound more like how they sound, as opposed to how I think they should sound. I mean, that's always been my thing. It's like, because the thing is, by the time they get live, if you fixed everything, you can sound like shit live.
Yeah.
You know? And but the other thing as well is like when you're recording music, I think the song isn't written until it's recorded. It's not done, because then you can take it from there and like, oh cool, now we can learn everything.
Exactly.
Because then you hear everything under a microscope.
Yeah.
But shit, just help me there. What was I was trying to get to a point there.
The point of new musicians, young musicians.
Yeah, new musicians.
Have fun.
Do what you love. Have fun. And I mean, whatever like even the way that you're recording or the way that you're writing and stuff, no one should be able to tell you it's wrong or right. It doesn't matter. If there was a standard to what a good singer should sound like or what a good band should sound like, we never would have had the Ramones. We never would have had Iggy Pop. Iggy Pop can't sing for shit, but he's like probably one of the best frontmen on earth. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. It's a character, man.
Not everyone can sing like Chris Cornell did.
Not everyone should try either.
And except for that, man, conviction, man. Conviction is the most important thing. That's what Iggy Pop has. Doesn't matter, man. He's crazy as hell, still playing shirtless. And he's really short, man. I didn't know he was such a tiny guy.
Another short person, fun little fact, is Rod Stewart. He's shorter than what I am. And I'm pretty friggin' short.
Oh, I'm short because I hunch.
Thanks, man. Now we're in the same frame today.
Yeah, no.
Evert, what's happening with the Aviary going forward? Where can people find you? The socials?
We're just trying to get this album done. We're like pretty much almost there. Going to get that done, and then the crazy album cycle will begin. Then probably by halfway through this album, we'll start recording new stuff again. But yeah, doing that. Probably want to do a tour at some point. My health is in a position where I can actually travel a bit more, which is awesome. And yeah, man, just gonna keep on doing what I do, man.
You got it, man. It's fantastic what you do. You can catch Evert on all streaming platforms. We'll leave the links in the description below. And while you're here, smash subscribe, like, share, all those cool things.
Don't know if we're in MySpace though.
Ooh, why not? MySpace is actually still going.
Is it?
It is actually still going.
So I was trying to make a joke, and I just look like a moron.
Not at all, man. Maybe it's a platform to revive for your music.
Yeah, there we
you
go.
never know. But Evert, any last words from your side?
Thank you very much for having me.
Most welcome.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for everything that you're doing for musicians. I'm not going to say the scene because it's for musicians.
For musicians,
because
yes.
the scene is just making music and like just giving people the platform to put their music out without having to go through the hierarchy of what is cool, whatever. You support the people, and you're doing a great job, man.
Thank you.
That's all I can say.
Thank you very much. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's been good. It's been fun. You've been hanging out with me, Francois Planet, and Evert Snyman. And on that note, keep it heavy, and remember, let metal shape you. Good night.